Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PSAI talk show, Elevate Your Impact by Creating an Experience. I'm your host, Kavina Elavarasan, a very proud member of this amazing PSAI community. And thank you for joining in today on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. If you're joining in already, I would love for you to tell us where you are joining in from, which country, which part of India that you're joining in from. Hello, Ram Prasad ji. Thanks for joining in. You've always been on time to our show. Wonderful. So today we are going to talk on a very important topic, elevate your impact by creating an experience. Before we dive into our conversation, let us have a quick overview of PSAI. In the meantime, I see that Ram Prasad ji is joining in from Faridabad. Wonderful. And now let's talk about what is PSAI for those of you wondering about it. PSAI is Professional Speakers Association of India. It exists to help build a vibrant community of speakers and elevate professional speaking careers on a global scale. We're a very proud member of Global Speakers Federation, which is an esteemed organization which connects 14 national speaking associations across the globe. At PSA, we dwell and focus on four main things. First is learning and development, promoting business of professional speaking, providing you the global exposure, and fostering collaboration. That's what PSA stands for. We have city chapters in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and a newfound chapter in Vadodara. We provide a platform of mentoring, resources, and networking. And PSA is all about professionalism, impact, and creating a thriving environment for speakers. We'll talk a lot about it today, but I cannot move further. When I always talk about PSAI, I would really love to talk about what a proud member of PSAI that I am. Although I'm just 6 months into PSAI journey, I already feel like I'm a long timer, and that's the magic of PSAI. It is not just a professional association, but it is a warm and a welcoming family that embraces every single member with open arms. And I am here, a living proof of the power and camaraderie this particular community fosters. All of that, we are going to dive and delve deeper. Before that, let's delve into the PSAI Talk Show. PSAI Talk Show is a monthly series where we bring experts together, the members of PSAI community, to delve into the world of professional speaking. And in this particular series, we are going to explore professional speaking and how it is a transformational career, and firsthand how it has helped our members accelerate their own journeys. And today's episode is incredibly special because we have the honor of speaking with none other than the president of PSAI, Vinay Pushpakaran. Now let's move on and look at the highlights of today. It is absolute honor for me to be the special host of this special episode where we are going to bring spotlight on an extraordinary individual, a true leader, and a powerhouse of inspiration. Vinay is a global keynote speaker, an educator, a TEDx speaker, and currently serves as the president of Professional Speakers Association India. Under his leadership, PSA continues to thrive as a community that inspires, empowers, and elevates the professional speakers across the nation. He comes with over 20 years of expertise in marketing, brand strategy, and consumer behavior, and he has been instrumental in helping organizations design their customer delight strategies. He also wears the hat of a professor of customer centricity at Great Lakes Institute of Management, where he inspires the next generation of business leaders to think customer first. But that's not all. Vinay is the founder and CEO of Miyagi Learning Solutions, a pioneering public speaking academy that has been transforming the lives of students and professionals for over 12 years. Vinay's journey is truly a testament of his relentless passion for empowering others, his deep commitment to excellence. He is not just a leader, but a mentor, an innovator, and above all, a true champion of professional speaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome the incredibly talented Vinay Pushpakaran to today's session.
Thanks, Kavina. Thank you very much. Such a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. It's an absolute pleasure to host and get in the conversation with you today. How are you feeling today?
Great, great. The PSAI talk show is something that's been an event that's close to my heart for more than 3.5 years. I've hosted some amazing people here, and being here as a speaker, it's just amazing. Thank you for having me here and for hosting this wonderful conversation. Thank you.
Pleasure is ours, Vinay. Thank you for joining us. So, Vinay, reading about you, talking about you for the last couple of minutes, I do, and I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of all the audience. We all see what an incredible journey that you've had, Vinay. I would like to ask you, was there any particular moment that you realized that speaking is your true calling and journey? How did that happen for you?
Okay. So before I started speaking professionally, I was already teaching speaking. So since 2011, I've been teaching speaking for students, which is in educational institutions. I've been a speaking coach. I've been a speaking mentor for the last close to 14 years now. And but I never spoke professionally other than maybe a few events here and there. So my professional speaking journey started in 2019 when I attended the first professional speakers summit, and I got to know that there is a world of world out there comprising global keynote speakers, and speaking is a $3 billion plus industry which is growing, and there is a huge community of professional speakers out there who are sharing their wisdom with the world, or making impact, who are transforming lives. And I was just sitting there wide-eyed, that wow, this is a world that I want to be a part of. So before that, yes, I was passionate about public speaking, but then I was teaching speaking more than I was doing speaking. But after 2019, the journey took a completely new detour, and I started exploring the world of professional speaking, developing my niche, working on my competencies, exploring opportunities, and delivering keynotes, and understanding what a keynote is all about. So, there is that. Before that, the simplest way to put that is that before that, there used to be the thing that, when you go for an event and somebody says, could you please come and share a few words? That's all it was, a few words. It started and ended right there. Only after I only after 2019, only after PSA, did I realize that those few words can transform into a powerful keynote of 30 to 40 minutes, which can actually change lives, inspire people, shift perspectives on on a topic that you are really passionate about, and you can bring that change in people. That is a lot larger and bigger impact than a few words. So for me, the transformation is from sharing a few words to delivering a transformational keynote. That's the journey. That's a transition, if you ask me.
Wonderful. So PSS has given you that shift of transition, the mindset shift from where you were as a public speaker to where you are, and I could right get that impact as a word that you had mentioned. So those of you wondering about PSS, we will dive into that a bit later. Stay in touch with us, but I would really like to talk about the impact that Vinay just mentioned, and I feel that's very important. Mm, Vinay, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is, can you share a memorable experience or that defining moment in your speaking career that you made, that you realized about the impact that you could be creating in your professional speaking journey?
Lots, if you ask me, but one of the earliest ones was, I think, 2014, when I was speaking to a group of college students, and we were talking about. It was a group of management students, and we were talking about the importance of sales. And during the interaction with the students, there was an opinion that, sales is about going out there, and it's like, it's the the dirty part of work. Oh my, it's like the way you got to go out, get all tired, and sometimes you face rejection day in and day out. There was a lot of negative vibe in the way sales was perceived at that time. And in my talk, now that was not even part of what I was supposed to speak on, but when somebody said that, I responded to that, and I said, no, there is a different way that you can perceive it. There's a completely shift in perspective that is possible. So I spoke about that, and I left it at that. But what happened is that after a few months, maybe 2 or 3 months, I got a message on my social media that, and it was that student who had asked that question, that he said that, after what you said, it just set me thinking, and now I am focusing a lot more in my sales sessions, because I feel that the way I was looking and the way some of even the people that I know are looking at sales is very, very different. So you just manage. And he said something which made a big impact on me, that he said, when he said that, you just change the way I looked at something. So for me, that was a an aha moment. For me, that was a moment that, wow, this is I was not even going to speak there on sales. I just wanted to present my perspective on the way I saw sales. So that's how it was, that conversation went, but it made an impact, it made a difference. So one of the earliest ones, this is something that I remember. They just caught offhand that, yeah, this is what I would talk about.
I get you thoroughly. And Brigadier Sir says Vinay is closely associated with the talk show. When he led this initiative in the first year of being education chair, he was, for me, okay, a fire and forget child. I get it. I get it. And I'm so happy that you are now here as a, featured as a speaker. Yes,
Thank you, sir.
absolutely. It is impactful and inspirational. The whole topic in itself. So can we also talk about how did you arrive at your topic on customer centricity?
So a lot of people have a huge role to play in that, and and at this point of time, I must mention them and their role in helping me arrive at my. It took me 2.5 years to arrive at my niche, and I'm not kidding here. I joined the PSAI in 2019. I found my niche only at the end of 2021. It took me 2.5 years, and that too through multiple layers, and because I thought, okay, I've been teaching public speaking for a long time, so public speaking is my niche. Then I moved on to, okay, I started my career with sales, so sales is my niche. Then I thought, okay, I think marketing is a lot cooler and more exciting, so marketing should be my niche. So like that, I hopped from one branch to the other, and I kept on swinging on to different niches until I found out the one topic that deeply resonated with me. One of the first people who just shifted the way I looked at things is Mariana Pascal, speak globally renowned keynote speaker from Johor Bahru, from Singapore. And when she was in India for a boot camp which was organized by the PSAI, I had a long conversation with her, and during that conversation we discussed about the speaking niche. And then just on a piece of paper, she just helped me figure out the way to approach a niche. That was the first step of it. Then after that, another person who had a deep impact on me my mentor, Praveen Shekhar. Praveen, one of our senior most member, and one of the founder members of the PSAI. Joining his mastermind was a completely career altering, transformational experience for me. The entire time, I managed to move further, from several notches further, into defining my niche. And then another person I have to mention, who had a very important role to play, because yes, I identified that, yes, I am all about the customer focus, but how do I polish it? How do I present it in a form that would be easily received and easily understood? Ganesh Vanchiswaran, our member from the Bangalore chapter. I worked with Ganesh closely, and Ganesh helped me see things from a very different perspective and put words to my thoughts. Sometimes when you are working on your own niche, you are blocked, you are blinded by a lot of things. But working with him, he just cleared off a lot of those cobwebs and helped me look at it in a very, very different light, and that was it. So that's when I started working as a professional speaker on my real niche. And today I'm so glad for that, because right after that, once I had the focus, once I identified my niche and started working on it and went deeper into it and built my entire business around it, everything changed for me. Literally everything changed for me. It was truly transformational. Today, when I talk about customers, today I talk about consumer behavior, I talk about customer centricity, it resonates with the audience, because I feel, number one, I feel very passionate about it. Number two, my experience as a marketing and sales professional deeply resonates with the concept of customer centricity. And I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy doing workshops about it. I enjoy speaking about it. I enjoy training about it. I can speak for hours on that. So I think that was the breakout moment, if you ask me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I so love the way you narrated the entire journey of how you did even arrive at the topic that customer centricity is going to be your theme, your core topic that you'll be talking about. And when you were talking, Vinay, it just occurred to me that, wow, it just took a village for us to even arrive at the niche, because we as speakers, public speakers, we just can talk fluently on any topic that is given. But what's important to be a professional speaker is that niche, the core theme that we will be talking about. And I really loved that journey that you shared, the 2 years of how many people have come together from PSAI to help you shape what you are going to talk about for the rest of your life. And I'm so happy that you shared it with us. And here's something that I wanted to share. Two people who helped me shape my niche. The last 6 months was one, Vinay, because I still remember the first PSD series that you had given. For those of you wondering what's PSD series, it's a niche program that is run by PSAI community on basically helping people get into the professional speaking area. So Vinay was talking about one of the session, and where he talked about your niche is all about three components: your passion, expertise, and the market coming in together. While I was thinking, I can talk on lots. That helped me narrow down. And of course, my mentor here, Sushil Basin, who had given me, Kavina, let's sit and sort it out. And in one meeting, we sorted out what is that I'm going to talk about, the communication strategist. We even, brought this out together closely. And that's how it takes. No, it takes a village for you to actually come in place for the rest of your life what you're going to talk about. Thank you, Vinay. That was absolutely transformational as to what you said. Now, when I going back to your professional journey, absolutely, you've been an influential voice, not just in PSAI, but also beyond. Do share with us your transformational stories or the feedback that you've heard from your audience after you started your professional journey. Of course, you shared with us a defining moment at the early stages of your professional speaking. I'm asking this because we would love to hear what does professional speaker mean to you when you bring about transformation in your audience.
Okay. I think the uh, first step in being a professional speaker is that it's an ongoing journey. That's how I see it. I don't see it as that there is no box that you can suddenly tick that, yeah, maybe, okay, today, maybe I gave a speech in an international city, and I've become a keynote speaker. Done. I've reached. I've done it. I've arrived in life. No, it doesn't work like that. Being a professional speaker is an ongoing journey, and you got to be on your game all through. You got to keep improvising, you got to keep bettering your you got to keep sharpening your axe, if you ask me. One of the ways that I do it, that every time I go up on stage and speak, after that event is over, I make it a point to uh, take qualitative feedback from a few people in the audience. I identify a few people in the audience. Some of them I tell up beforehand, some of them I tell after the event. I take qualitative feedback from and that has really, really helped me. Looking at small little nuances, small little ways in which I could have done differently. I take that feedback, I collect that feedback, and that feedback helps me get better at that. I look at what people are enjoying about my talk, what people are finding positive about it. So whenever I look at both the positive and the negative, and I always feel that we shouldn't be too obsessed with either. We have to be balanced about both positive and negative. We are too obsessed with positive, we'll never get better. We'll always be in that cocoon that we are just amazing, we are awesome. No, And we can't always be obsessed with the negative, because we'll only be too critical about ourselves. We will overlook what we are doing well. It's important as a professional speaker to know what we are doing well and what we could do better, and then mix and match the elements that need to be worked upon. If my voice throw is not well, maybe I need to work with a voice coach. If I'm not able to use stories very effectively, then I need to improve my storytelling skills. So I need to work with somebody. I need to find ways to improve. As simple as that. In today's world, you can have an excuse for literally anything, but you cannot have an excuse for lack of learning. There is learning available everywhere. So as a speaker, you got to sharpen your craft constantly. So you got to look at the positives and make sure that you repeat those positives. You keep doing those things, right? And if the things that you are not doing really well, you got to work on them. You got to find ways to learn. Either you can do that with a mentor, you can do that by joining a mastermind. The PSAI has a mastermind for that. No, I'm not marketing it. We still have a lot of time for the next mastermind to begin. But uh, mm, but uh, that's one way. Other than that, there are so many different platforms and channels of learning that are available today. And if you are not able to learn, I'm sorry, but that's on you. It's as simple as that. There is no excuse for us today to not be able to learn. For everything else, yes, there are reasons. Not learning, no way. As a professional speaker, you got to keep learning, keep upping your game. Only then would you stay relevant in the market. And today, yes, professional speaking is an exciting career. It's an exciting profession. It's a niche zone. All that is correct. But to thrive in the zone, to do really well in the zone, you cannot you cannot afford to stay stationary. There is no still zone in this. You got to be in motion. You got to be dynamic. You got to keep working on your brand, working on your craft, working on your effectiveness, working on yourself as a speaker. You got to keep putting in the hard yards. There is no shortcut for that.
Absolutely. What I wanted to say is something which has already been said by Brigadier Sir. Vinay, I can see the enthusiasm in your voice when you talk of the way you love speaking and training. It's when you love doing what you do and life becomes so fulfilling. Absolutely. That's what I thought. It's absolutely a rewarding journey, right? And Vinay did mention about how it is going to be a journey which is going to shape you up and how it is going to shape up the audience as well. For those of you wondering, we've been speaking a lot about professional speaking. Vinay, my next question is about professional speaking, and it's a very basic I wanted to start with. What are the key qualities that you think that would make someone a successful professional speaker?
You mean key qualities as a speaker?
Key qualities to get into professional speaking.
Okay. Number one, you got to really want to be a professional speaker. I mean, that's important. And if you are not really keen to explore the business or the career side of speaking, then that's cool. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that if you're not a professional speaker, you are missing out on something. I will not say that. I will not say that, because we choose our own path of our career, our business. No problem with that. But I'm saying that if you want to be a professional speaker, someone who speaks not just because they're passionate about it, not just because it's a hobby, not just because they enjoy it, but because they want to make a career out of it, because they want to make a profession out of that, then it will take investment of thought, time, energy, effort, money. Yes, all these things you got to put in that, and then you take the next step. Because public speaking you can do. You might be having a full-time job, a part-time job. You might be an entrepreneur. You might have any career choice. You can pursue public speaking in multiple ways. In your team, maybe join a club. There are multiple ways to do that. And you love public speaking, you speak for the love of it. There will always be opportunities here and there to do that. No problem with that. But professional speaking is a very different zone altogether, because when you're stepping into that zone, you are not positioning yourself as someone who speaks very well on stage. No, people don't pay speakers because they speak well on stage. People pay
Mm.
speakers who deliver value from stage. That's the difference there. Now, how do they deliver value from stage? You, number one, uh, Before you even get onto the stage to deliver value, you got to earn the right to be on that stage to deliver value. For that, your brand matters, your credibility matters, how you work on your perception, how you work on the way your perception in the market. You got to work on that. That's number one. That will get you onto the stage. Then from the stage, you got to deliver solid value. For that, you got to have expertise. You also need to know, or you need to learn how to make that expertise relevant, digestible, and transformational in 40 minutes for the audience. We have a in our market, or in our industry, in the Asian industry, we have a lot of trainers, mentors, coaches, and the even the market perception about training, the training industry, is a very different perception as compared to keynote speaking. Keynote speaking in India is still growing. It's still growing. It's still in its early stages. It's still at a nascent stage. And one question that at least I have come across multiple times, that how much can you do in 40 minutes? How much can you give in 40 minutes? Isn't that too short? Because the template in the mind is always of a full day training program. A full day training program is perceived as powerful, packed with value. But you can shift perspectives in 40 minutes. That's why delivering a 40-minute, I feel, I do training programs also, I do full day workshops also. If you ask me, uh, delivering powerful value in 40 minutes is much harder than doing a full day 6 hour 7 hour training program, because every single minute multiplied by 60 seconds, in Brigadier Sushil Basin's words, every single second in those 60 every single second in those in every minute that you're on stage counts. You got to use that to deliver solid tangible value to your audience. That is professional speaking. If you ask me to define professional speaking, that is professional speaking. And if somebody aspires to be a professional speaker, I would say that number one, you got to really want to be there. You got to really want to be there. Without that real want and that passion to be there, that's the first step for me. After that, you should be willing to put in the work to do that. So these are the two things for someone who wants to begin or build a career in professional speaking.
Absolutely, Vinay. It just felt like a mastermind in itself, all capsuled in 2 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering what's professional speaking, and that's it, right? Giving out the whole crux of the transformation of being a speaker into a professional speaking is what Vinay just mentioned to us. What I wanted to also ask is, you are someone who is now at the hem of PSAI as a president of PSAI. I'd like to ask you, how is professional speaking an emerging field in India compared to the global markets? If we would, how would you like to describe the current landscape for professional speakers here in India?
To put it in a nutshell, I will say that it's just waiting for that tipping point. It's for that waiting for that point to just explode. We are at that point where the market is growing now. More and more industries, more and more people are knowing what that there is this breed of people out there who are delivering powerful keynotes and who are being paid for delivering those powerful keynotes. So that's put in a very very simple way. A few months back, we had our first two CSPs. Now, who's a CSP? A CSP is a certified speaking professional. It is a hallmark of quality and reliable value for in the world of professional speaking. Our two members, Shivakumar Palaniappan and Brigadier Sushil Basin, are the first two CSPs from India. A lot of people don't realize the gravity of that achievement, but in the time to come, they will realize that what being a CSP in India means, what being a CSP means when the industry grows. And the industry is just bound to grow. It is growing. The visibility is growing. People are talking about it now. Keynote speaking, which is speaking in conferences, corporate events, conventions, you name it. Speaking in those is seen as a specialized skill, a specialized craft, a service which demands a commensurate remuneration. That is being seen. So the industry, yes, and globally it is a $3 billion plus industry, no doubt about that. But in India, we have a lot of ground to cover. We have a lot of ground to cover, but we are on our way. And I'm proud to say this here that as a community, PSAI, we are mm, we are pioneers in this movement to bring professional speaking onto the middle of the stage, onto the pitch. So it's looks very exciting as the road ahead.
Absolutely. And the opportunities are also growing as year passes by. And when I joined PSAI, what I understood is that PSAI operates on abundance as a principle. And one thing that really resonates still in my ears is that it says we are not going to take the share of pie, but we are going to grow the pie larger. So that's how the market is growing, and that's how PSAI is going to shape the career journey for people who are just joining in. Wonderful. So there are a lot of comments, Vinay, coming all the way. I see that Dr. Alka is telling simply love your passion, Vinay. Awesome. Now let's go on, and I'd like for us to discuss about PSAI for those of them who has joined us, non-PSAI members, wondering what is PSAI, how this community will help them support in their professional journeys. I'd love for you to spend few minutes on telling how PSAI can support speakers newly coming in into their professional speaking journey.
Okay, so the PSCI is a community that provides its members the tools, the network, the exposure, the wisdom, and the opportunities to hone their professional speaking skills. Okay, that's to put it in a single line, to a nutshell. As a community, we are all about creating an inclusive space where anyone who wants to build their speaking career can uh, get all the tools, all the learning, all the skill building that they need to build their speaking career. What are we not? We are not a networking organization. No. Yes, networking happens organically. We all network with each other. We all become friends. No doubt about that. We are not a organization which is here to it's like a group of individuals who are for who are passionate about public speaking as a hobby. No, we are not that. We are here about a simple purpose. We all want to become professional paid keynote speakers, professional paid speakers. That's the reason why this community, that's what the focus of this community is on. That's number two. And number three, here we create an ecosystem where an aspiring professional speaker finds all that he or she needs to build their speaking career. But who's the person who puts it brick by brick into their career? We ourselves. The ecosystem provides all the tools, all the mindsets, all the exposure, the network, wisdom from global keynote speakers. Now, like you mentioned, we are part of the Global Speakers Federation, Kavina, and the Global Federation has in its ages 17 other speaking associations, and as a member we get access to learning from members across these 17 associations. They attend our events, we attend their events. They very generously come and share their wisdom, their years of wisdom with us in our master classes, in our sessions, in our virtual programs. Very recently, we had an amazing program organized by the PSAI, the Vadodara chapter, where we all learned about uh, positioning ourselves in the speaking circuit. So there are so many of these opportunities which are available for us as part of a member, as a member of the PSAI. So that's what PSAI provides for its members. That's what the association stands for. We are a community. We are now in 6 cities, and we are growing. We have new members coming up. We have a lot of energy and enthusiasm in this community to grow, and also to take professional speaking to the center stage in India.
Absolutely. So what I see is that if we are coming inside as a baby, we have a complete ecosystem to nurture the baby into a fully grown. And as you mentioned in your previous one of the answers was that it's a journey being a professional speaker, and how we have to keep refining our acts and become the best of the best professional speakers. And that's what I understand. When I A follow up question, what I see and what I've experienced through my journey in PSA is that it's a collaborative community. And could you highlight few events or programs that we are running? You just did mention about Vadodara. There was an event which is conducted. We'd love for you to talk a little bit more about what kind of programs do we run in PSAI and how exactly it is going to help people who are going to come in newly.
Okay. So we have uh, we have two kinds of programs. There are one set of programs which are exclusive for members, like the PSD series that the education chair Brigadier Sushil Basin spearheads. The PSD series. Now, the PSD series is a series of 8 competency workshops that happen every month exclusively for members. Now, these are powerful sessions, which I always say to every new member and old member as well, that as much as possible, please do not miss these sessions. These sessions are pure gold, if you ask me. That's the kind of value that we get in these PSD sessions. Each of Now, these sessions are based on the 8 competencies of professional speaking, which were from the National Speakers Association in the United States. Now, these 8 competencies are something that we have to keep working on, and we have a cycle of 8 workshops happening. One cycle gets over, then the next cycle starts after another month or so. So this keeps happening all through the year, and we have different speakers from the association and from outside who come and deliver master classes for the members on these 8 competencies. This is one. Other than that, we have a mastermind series. This is specifically for the newer members to join and talk, and where a group of 5 to 6 members join in a mastermind which runs for about 2 to 3 months, and they work closely with a mentor. The mentor guides them on one specific area of development as a professional speaker. This is another initiative. So every year we have about 2 cycles or 2 run throughs of this. Other than that, we also have a mentorship initiative where some of our senior most members in the PSAI, they run a long term mentorship program where they mentor other members to become better professional speakers. So these are 3 initiatives. Other than that, we have 6 chapters, and all those chapters have both in-person events. We also have virtual events, and in these events are open for all the other chapters to attend, all the virtual events to attend. In fact, when our members travel for different cities, we attend the in-person events of those cities, and we get to meet our compatriots from the other cities. So it's an amazing feeling. So it's a very close knit community. There's a lot of collaboration happening, and a lot of learning happening. So all these are events and programs. In fact, some of our events are open to guests as well, so guests can come and join and get a flavor, get a vibe of the community. And if they enjoy it, they resonate with it, we welcome them to be a part of the community. So there are all these are initiatives and programs which the PSA runs. And of course, how can I not talk about the number one flagship event of the PSAI, which happens once a year, with something that I personally look forward to every single year, the Professional Speakers Summit. It is the annual convention of professional speakers. Uh, the- I will I will say it's the biggest event for of professional speaking in India. It is the authorized annual flagship event, which happens once a year, and every year it happens in a different city led by one of the chapters of the PSAI. This year it is happening next month in Mumbai on the 21st and 22nd of Feb. And the year before that, that is in 24, we had that event in Delhi, in Hayat, and it was a fabulous event. And every professional speakers summit is a melting pot of wisdom from all parts of the world. We have speakers flying in from different parts of the world. They fly in, they share their wisdom. They are very, very generous about imparting what they have learned all these years with all of us. We all learn, and we take our journey forward. We take our career forward. So the PSS is a very important and signature event of the PSAI.
Lovely. Thank you. And I still remember when you started off telling us that the defining moment in your professional speaking journey was PSS. And I was meaning to ask you this question on PSS. For people who would be joining in for the very first time for PSS 2025, and for people who have not yet decided whether they will be joining in or not, for those of them who are thinking on those lines, I would like you to tell us more about what kind of sessions, speakers, activities can participants take away from this PSS summit?
Okay. So if you're on the fence, I will say jump in. Don't wait. Don't wait. It's an exclusive event, limited audiences. If I remember right, we are already I think about 80% or 85% of our capacities for the event. So now, what do you get as a speaker when you attend a PSS? Okay, let me go one after the other. Number one, you get a series of keynotes from some of the top speakers across the world. And top speakers, I mean speakers who have literally built their brand in gold globally. These are the people who come here and share their wisdom with us on different topics. It could be using AI, using how do you build your brand as a speaker, how do you write better as a speaker, how do you craft a keynote, how do you communicate your ideas better. A variety of topics, a variety of themes that are relevant and related to professional speaking. The entire summit is curated in such a way that every session is directly connected with professional speaking. How do you become a thought leader in your zone? How do you build your speaking career? This is what the entire 2 day summit is all about. So you have keynotes, you have master classes, you have multiple sessions like breakout rooms and so on and so forth. There are so many different kinds of events that happen inside the PSS. So other than that, you also get to meet almost the entire PSAI community in one place, which literally it happens only once a year. Which only happens once a year. We have only one event wherein everybody comes together, and that is the PSS. So we have so that's one, we get to meet everybody. That's one. And number two, and number three, you start you explore opportunities to collaborate with some of your own members. You form bonds which later on result in opportunities. You never know where a conversation can lead to. Over these years, I've lost count of the number of opportunities that I have that I have been referred by some of my friends in the PSA, and I have referred some of my friends in the PSA, and that works. But people refer you only when they know what you speak on. People refer you only when they get to know you. So the PSS is one opportunity to do that face to face. So that's the reason why there are so many different, and I'm just counting a few things due to paucity of time, but there are so many different values that can come from attending the professional speakers summit or a speaking convention. Now speaking conventions happen all over the world in all the associations that are there. So in our association here, when we have our speaking, we are committed to ensuring that there is solid tangible value for the delegates who come from different parts of the country, different parts of the world to attend, and we give them an amazing experience.
Wonderful. It said it all when you said it's going to be a melting pot. And I take it that it's going to be a melting pot of learning and development, creating collaborations and brilliant opportunities. And more importantly, the collaboration with other members. It already feels, for me, this is the first PSS meet, and it already feels like homecoming to meet a lot of people in person, right? The chapters across India is going to come together. And not just that, I already see that Dr. Alka has put up telling that all our friends from Maldives, right? There's also people coming in from different places, and it's going to be a union of not just India but across the globe. Wonderful. So I would also like to ask, just in the lines of PSS 2025, how does PSS help us elevate the professional speaking landscape in India?
When every year when the PSS happens, it builds visibility for not just the community, but also for professional speaking as a as a business, as a career. Every single time we have a summit, the visibility goes several notches higher. The conversation, there are more conversations that are stimulated. There are more discussions that happen around the PSS. I remember in PSS 24 in Delhi, we had an amazing group of bureaucrats
Hmm.
and industry heads, leaders who came over, and I happened to catch up a conversation with some of them. And one of the things that I realized is that many of them were getting to know that there is an industry of professionals, there is an industry which is around speaking for the first time. They didn't know that there is a completely structured community that is focused on professional speaking like that. Now, when more and more people become aware, the visibility of professional speaking and the community improves. And when that improves, it puts the limelight more on this amazing business, this amazing career. So
Wonderful.
that's how it sets the platform to for professional speaking as a career to take off.
Wonderful. So PSS has a lot for all of us as a professional speaker and to a landscape that we are building for professional speakers community in India. For those of you wondering about how to get in, as Vinay rightly mentioned, 80% is already booked. And I see a lot of inspiring messages on the chat. There's a banner going below. You can just visit and learn more about PSS and take your step forward. Wonderful. So, Vinay, let's shift gears right now and have a little fun with a rapid fire round. Before we get in, I'm going to ask all of the viewers, no, let's keep it fun. And I'm going to ask more questions as to understand Vinay as a person and a leader for PSAI community. Before we get started, I would like to request all the members out there listening online. If you have any questions, please post it on the comment, and I'm going to take it with Vinay. Right? With that, Vinay, I'm going to ask you a set of quick questions, and I would love for you to answer it in a very short manner with the first thought that comes at the top of your mind. All right, let's get
This is
started.
this is the part where I love to be on the other end.
And I'm super happy that I am on the other end. Wonderful. So,
Go
first
ahead.
question. One word to describe your speaking style.
Energy.
Energy. See that flowing and overflowing, and I see a lot of comments coming about your energy. That's totally what we resonate with you. The next question, slightly cliche, Vinay, but I'm quite intrigued and I want to know about this. If you weren't a speaker, what would you be?
Oh, that's easy. Teacher.
Teacher. So it looks like
100%.
that's in your DNA, no? Being a teacher, being an educator.
I love
Fabulous.
I love teaching. I would have taught something. I don't know which subject. Now that's going to be a guy. Thankfully, you didn't ask me what subject I will teach. That would have put me in a fix. But teaching, yes.
Now I'm intrigued to ask you the next question, but yeah, I know you shared with us your thrilling journey as to the two years of you getting to know what it is about, and I'm going to spare you from that question. So one other quick fun question: tea or coffee? What fuels your creativity?
Lemon tea. Always.
Sorry,
Lemon tea. Always. Lemon tea.
lemon tea. Wonderful.
Always.
Okay, we now know the secret of your energy, Vinay. We are
Lemon
going to catch hold of.
24/7, anytime, lemon tea.
Wonderful. What's your secret weapon for connecting with an audience?
Relatability. If you crack a joke, crack something that your audience can understand, they can relate to, they will not be offended by, they will be able to connect with. Relatability is something which is top of my mind. If I whether if I use humor, if I use an example, if I use a story, for me, number one thing before entertainment, before impact, everything is later. First comes relatability. If my audience cannot relate to my story, no point.
I got you. One speaker you look up to and why? And before you answer, there's a whole lot of PSI members watching you right now. I'm so happy I put you in the tight spot.
Okay, this is a very okay, tough question because there are so many. But one speaker I never miss an opportunity when he's on stage has to be Praveen Shekhar.
Praveen Shekhar, are you there? Say a hi to
Simple as
us.
that. Yes, because the way he inspires me when he goes on stage with his energy, I take back a lot from that. So definitely Praveen Shekhar.
Wonderful. I'm also looking forward to meet him in PSS. I've heard a lot about him. Wonderful. What's a fun fact about you that not many people knows about you?
I watch a ton of movies. However busy I am, I watch a lot of movies and I review movies and I write on movies. And yeah, I've okay. One fun thing which most people, but then a lot of people know that. Yeah, so okay, something that a lot of people may not know is that I actually did a radio show where I spoke on, where I reviewed an IPL match for FM. So that was something which was there. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting experience. Yes, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So yes, that's something which a lot of people don't, because I write and speak so much about movies and cricket that I think somebody just put my name and they called me.
Ah, nice. That's a good fact to know about you. Thanks for sharing. What's your all-time favorite quote or mantra?
What mantra? Quoted mantra.
A quote that you
Huh.
live by.
Okay. Take action. Simple. Take action. Simple as that. Take action.
Action.
Am I audible?
Now,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Take action. In fact, today we complete the 30-day 30 videos challenge, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. In my life, I have never shot more than 5 videos ever, maybe. And the challenge that you guys, and I have to give complete credit to the Bangalore chapter here, Midu, you, Chimu, the entire team that came up with this challenge. You, like, I shot 30 videos in 30 days. I've never done that in my life. And so yeah, that's top of the mind recall. So take action is my quote right now for a very long time now.
Kudos to bringing a lot of us into action by this 30-day social media challenge put together by the Bangalore chapter. Absolutely, Aniket, I resonate with you. That was a massive action for all of the professional speakers out here, and there have been amazing transformations. Wonderful. One quick and last question from my end. One book you would recommend every speaker should be reading?
Sorry, come again.
One book that you believe every speaker should be reading?
The referable speaker. For sure, definitely. I mean, there are a lot of books, but the referable speaker is something that is very, very, I will say, directly relevant to professional speakers. And I mean, 100% it should be read. If you're a professional speaker or you want to be a professional speaker, then definitely I will highly recommend the referable speaker.
Referable speaker. Great.
Yeah.
Take a note, everyone. With that, I thought I will only engage you in a rapid fire round. There's a question coming from, I think, a Maldivian friend of yours. He asks, what is your favorite Maldivian food?
Okay. Good question. I had a lot of things which I absolutely enjoyed. So I'm just thinking which one. Okay, there was the okay. I don't know. Is that you, Iyaz, or okay? Looking at the question, I have a feeling that that's you, but I'm just guessing here. Okay, uh, the the seafood soup. That's something that I absolutely loved among all the other amazing things I had. The seafood soup would be my first one, my favorite food. Yes.
Well, probably we will also try it the next time we are in Maldives. With that, we quickly wrap up the rapid fire round. And I see only one question coming our way from CA Nidhi Malini. Are there different programs chargeable separately, or is it a part of the member?
Nope, Nidhi. Uh, as a member, you get complete access to all the programs that happen right through the year. The only exception being the Professional Speakers Summit, which is the annual convention. So for that, there is a member exclusive pricing, which is for members. And then there is a non-member ticket, which is for if you're not a member to attend the event. That's the only one that is chargeable. All the other events are members have complete access to all the other events that we do all through the year.
Wonderful. Thanks for taking that question for us. I see that Midhu has told that one of the many things that she admires about you, Vinay, is that giving credit. And congratulations on completing 30 to 30-day challenge. Absolutely, to all of us here who has embarked on this journey with the Bangalore chapter. Wonderful, Vinay. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. There have been a lot of insights coming your way through your expertise and experience that you've built in the journey, and you being the as a captain of the PSAI community right now. What's your closing remarks?
That be a speaker, and don't be a speaker because you just want to speak. Be a speaker because you want to create change, create transformation in your audience. That is the real purpose of being a speaker. That's something that I strongly resonate with. That's something that, because when you do that, all the other things happen on its own. But be that speaker who takes the stage and creates powerful value, powerful, unmatched value for their audience every single time. Be that speaker, because that's a speaker who's always talked about, who's always referred, who's always uh, raved about. Be that speaker.
Absolutely. That's completely inspiring us. Absolutely, Vinay. I don't want to wish to end this conversation with you. It has been a lot of key takeaways and insights, not just for me, but I'm sure for all of us out here. With that, this is coming to closure, and Vinay is always out there on LinkedIn and various other platforms, very active if you'd like to reach out to him. And we will meet you in the next month with another amazing speaker from Professional Speakers Association India. And we will hear a lot about their story and their expertise. For all the non PSAI members, take this opportunity to see what is this community all about. And for all the PSAI members out here, let's make PSS 2025 a summit that we will not forget. I am super thrilled and enthusiastic about it. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's continue building a thriving community for professional speakers in India. And we will see you all at PSS 2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kavina. It's been a great experience. Thank you for having me here and for this wonderful conversation. And here's wishing all of you who took your time out to join us here in this conversation. Have a great evening and start speaking.
Let's start speaking. Thank you, Vinay.